other day I heard you talking to Val about how you've managed to find a way around this inflation thing that has been disturbing everybody. I beg, tell me, how have you been doing it? Because I'm very tired of how things keeps getting expensive every single day. And you know anything that goes up in this Nigeria, it does not come back down. See egg now, we started from 15 naira. We're already at 200 naira. I'm very tired. I beg, let me not lie. Just tell me what you've been doing because I need to start doing it right now. My dear, like this thing, it's disturbing everybody. Like, I won't say I've completely mastered how to, beat the inflation, but at least to a great extent, I believe I've been able to, manage it. And that was all me and Vi were talking about because the thing, there are some things that I've been doing, that has been really helping me to manage this inflation thing. Because it's really disturbing everybody, and I can't say it's only me. So, after some time, since 2020 till now, I just had to adopt some way to manage it so that this inflation that is, making many Nigerians to suffer would not inflate my blood pressure. Because I can't come and keep myself. Like, this thing is too much. I will tell you, I beg, tell me so I can start doing it because right now my monthly salary does not even last me up to a month again. I'm already so tired. This Nigeria will not kill me. I beg, just tell me what you're doing so I can start doing it. If it is something that will help me, let me start doing it now. The problem, it tire me too. But let me just, to put it simply, there are 5 things that I believe I've been doing that, most people are not doing. So, I'm going to be sharing them with you right now. Guys, you see? It's not only me that is suffering this inflation thing. I believe many of you out there are also suffering the inflation thing. Especially, it's not even only Nigeria. There was a study that showed that, in the last 11 months, inflation has been the greatest worry of many people around the world. It's not only Nigeria, it's not only, USA. All around the world, almost everybody is feeling it. I believe it's just a few people that will say they are not feeling this inflation that has been disturbing everybody. But today I'm here to tell you the 5 things that I've been doing differently that I believe has helped me manage the inflation. So the very first thing myself I do, I buy things in bulk. I believe I started doing this since around that time the inflation started, 2020, when the world was suffering from this pandemic. So everything was just thrown into chaos. But after since 2020 up until now, I just started adopting some habits that I started doing. So the major one was buying things in bulk. So I tried this out in 2021 when I decided to buy our hair extension, girls hair extension. I just reached out to my hairdresser and told her to help me to buy the hair attachments in bulk, and I found out that there was a huge difference between from the time I bought that hair extension till 1 year later I was still using this hair extension. But within that period of time, the price of the hair extension had almost gotten 50% higher than it was when I bought that one in 2021. But now fast forward to 2023, I decided to upscale this my habit of buying things in bulk, and I decided to buy the full carton, not just 1 carton but 2 cartons of the hair extension, because I know that will last me quite a while, more than 2 years if I may say. But one thing I noticed was even within the period, say I bought this attachment or my hairdresser helped me to buy this hair extension in September, ending of September. Now we're in October. Within that short period of time, the attachment, she bought it 2,000 naira, but up until this, just from that time to this period, it has already increased. Now she's saying that they're selling wholesale 2,200. Just imagine I had wasted that maybe 2-3 weeks in between and then said I will buy it now. Just imagine 200 naira. That is 10% of what I bought it initially. And just imagine now from October to December, the difference will be very interesting. So not only did I even do this thing for the hair extension, I also bought the relaxer because I just saw how the last one I bought, because when I bought the first one and I bought the hair extension with relaxer, so the thing lasted me quite a while. Even up until now I've still not finished the relaxer, but I decided to buy more because I don't want to take the chances of inflation happening. So I really love buying things in bulk. This is not only for hair extension now, but most of the things my household items that I eat, I try to buy them in bulk because it has helped me a lot. Instead of going, you find that the price of buying things in bulk is way cheaper than when you are going to buy it every time you need it. Because before you go, the inflation, yesterday now I saw an article that said that Nigeria's inflation has gotten to 26%. That is very high, and we have been crawling to this point. Now we are in this place. Not only the price of goods and services now, the dollar keeps going high, and these things, they work hand in hand because Nigeria is a very import based country. So until we start exporting, we need to even know how to manage our situation. So that is one thing I believe that has helped me to manage inflation. Buying things in bulk is very good, and to help you to reduce your cost of buying things if you are to frequently be buying the things whenever you need it. Let's say you find me one day in a supermarket checking the price of things, and all of a sudden you see me run out to the next supermarket checking the price of that same thing in another place. Don't be very surprised, because that is one way I found to manage inflation. I try to compare the prices of things in 3 different shops before I end up buying it, because I can't be spending any 100 naira extra on the things that I know that okay I can get for 100 naira less. So what I do most especially is I go to the first, over time I've basically known, okay, this shop is cheaper, this shop is cheaper, or this shop is a little bit more expensive. I've just known the 3 places that I've compared the prices of 3 different shops or 3 different supermarkets with the things that they sell. So what I now do is I start with the one with the least price. So I know that okay, this shop they have fair prices compared to the other 2. So I try to look through my list. I try to buy every single thing that that supermarket will have, and then before I move on to the next one, then the next one. That is one way. It's a very good way to manage your inflation, because now you are saving every 100 naira, every 50 naira. It is very important, because if you join it together, it goes a long way in helping you to ease yourself. You might even be surprised that at the end of the day, just gather how much. Let's say I started with spa. I'm calling out spa now. Spa is more expensive compared to other maybe bazaar, Shop Perfect. So these are the 3 places I go to, but I know that spa is more expensive than these other 3 or these other 2. So I start with bazaar, because bazaar is even still cheaper than Shop Perfect. But because bazaar and Shop Perfect, they are very close to each other, I try to start with bazaar first, go through my list, everything I can buy there, I buy it first before I now move on to Shop Perfect, then I move on to spa. This is one very effective way. Just imagine if I started with spa, I would have ended up spending maybe 1,000 or 2,000 naira extra if I had just focused on only spa. So I try to disburse my shopping. At least then I can get better deals for whatever I'm buying, so I don't waste money, because now is not the time to be wasting any 50 naira or any 100 naira. So that is one way I used to manage my inflation, or the inflation that is making all of us to suffer these days. I hope you try it. Before now, I used to shop every 2 times in a month. So every 2 weeks I go shopping once. So in a month, that is obviously 2 times. But now your girl has reduced it to once every month. So now I decided I now shop only once in every 3 weeks, because the thing is so crazy. I found out that when I was shopping twice every month, before the things are finished, maybe because I know that okay, in 2 weeks time I'll still go and buy another one, I end up finding ways to finish all the ones that I've bought before. But since the money, my salary was no longer enough for me to be splurging on every 2 weeks going for shopping and then buying even mostly the things that I necessarily don't need, I found out that okay, I decided to start shopping once every 3 weeks, and it has really helped me cut down on what I spend on shopping. Let's say before now I used to spend maybe 60k, let's say, for shopping, that is to stock my house. But now, because I now do only once in every 3 weeks, I now find out that okay, I spend nothing more than 80,000. That is still a fair deal. Just imagine I had gone twice, 60,000, that was 120,000. But if you now go only once in every 3 weeks and spend 80,000, you've basically saved 40,000. So I now try to buy everything that I know that okay will last me for this period of time. And it's not most of these things you buy in supermarket anyway, you end up finishing them, or there are things that you need as a necessity in your life. Most times they are just things that you add to your other things that you eat in your house. So just knowing how to manage around these things, cutting down on what I've been spending on, helped me a long way. And reducing this shopping time, because the more you go there, the more you find out you need this thing, you need this thing, you need this thing. So just try to reduce the number of shopping time. At least I know that has really helped me to cut down on what I spend. Peace. Wait, I want to buy these Doritos, but do I really need these Doritos? I just want to eat it, Sha. It's not like my body needs it, but I just want to eat it. I found myself asking myself these questions every single time. Now I keep asking, like, do I really need this? Should I waste my money on this? Is it really necessary? So I try to ask myself honest questions before I buy anything now. It is very important, because if you now look back, you find that most of the things you even buy, you did not necessarily need them, but you just, okay, I have the money, I see it is enticing me, you now end up buying it. So you end up wasting that money, but you would have put it into other things. So trying to ask yourself honest questions on whether do you need this thing or do you want it. Those are two different things. So knowing these things will help you to make better decisions on what to buy and what not to buy. So that is one way. I also, it has helped me to cut down on my expenses, ultimately helping me to manage the inflation that everybody else is suffering from. So I think this should have come first, but I know once I say this first, you think, okay, she has come again, like she wants me to save, she wants me to do this. But yes, you still have to save. Like, I had to bring this last, but it is still something that is very important if you want to manage inflation. That is, taking out your savings, your emergency fund, the money for your house expenses or your monthly expenses, taking it out first before you now start buying every other thing you want. Girl, like, you see, if you start spending or you go shopping once your salary comes before you now start putting out your savings, you find that your savings is not even anything to save. Like, it's not even enough to even say your bank is helping you to hold, because you're basically, it is not worth any interest. That is the situation. So make sure to always remove your savings first. That is very important. Me, I have a budget. Like, I have a list of, before the salary comes, I already have a list, because if I don't have a list, I found that I just go all ramble and start spending on everything and anything. So one way is to remove your savings first, your emergency fund next, the money for your monthly expenses next, then before you can start shopping, even for maybe whatever you might want. But when I say monthly expenses first, that is still inclusive of your groceries and your whatnot. But the most important ones, like your savings, your emergency funds, those ones should come first. Then now your house expenses, like maybe your light bill, your house bill, your electric bill, all those kind of things. Now you can remove them before you now start even spending on your groceries, because you find that most of the time, because you've already bought your groceries, the money that is now left is not enough to take care of these your other important expenses. So guys, these are the 5 ways that I believe I've been things I've been doing basically that has really helped me to manage this inflation. It is not easy, obviously. Like, sometimes I might just, I want this thing, but I now check, like, does my budget really allow for me to buy these things? So I try to question myself every single time. So these are the 5 things I basically do that has helped me. At least I'm not usually as stressed as I was before at the end of the month my salary has finished. I'm now wondering, like, what can I even use the rest to do? It is not enough to take me through the rest of the week. Although like, if you have another source of income, that can help you to also buffer. These are still some things you can do to help you manage inflation, because you now have like an extra source of income. If your salary is not enough for you, you now have another place you can fall back on. So guys, I hope this video was helpful to you. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Like, what do you think you've been doing that has really helped you to, like, at least curtail the inflation? Because I know it's not only me that is suffering from this thing. All around the world, wherever you are in the world, I would love to hear from you. What are you doing? Comment down below. Click that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Join the family, because I'll be bringing you more useful tips. So I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay tuned and bye bye.